But somebody like me, I actually prefer those work that you just do small work. I start earning and earn as high as 145,000 to 170,000, and it could be more depending on location. Okay, fine, all right, nice. Okay. Finish. Sometimes they may not even come to work every day safe, and they will collect salary. That's the type of God, Jesus. That's the type of work that I'm talking about. Not like I want to keep myself. I want to do as if somebody want to die. And then you not come and pay me this thing. Nonsense. Everybody wants to study nursing. Hey, study nursing in UK. Yeah, handle this one. Nonsense. Even the nursing. That's why people shouted the nursing. This I wanted to go and you choke it and enter. Even the nurse, you think it's only Nigeria that is underpaid, that they underpay their staff? Oh my dear. Well, after Nigeria, UK is the next. But one thing Nigerians don't understand is when you hear how much they actually pay, then you convert to NAIRA and you've forgotten that you pay bills, accommodation, this one, that one. They'll say, I don't mind. My dear, the way they are underpaying us in Nigeria is actually the way they are underpaying them in the UK. You don't understand. So all of you that is shouting us, this is not actually to demotivate or discourage you from studying medicine, though from studying nursing. Nursing is not all about the money. It's about the interest, the motivation, the selflessness in you actually treating a sick patient, bringing health to the person. Everything is not about money. But this is just me telling you, there's actually this means that nurses are well paid in the UK. But guys, if you hear how much nurses in the UK are paid, you will think twice. But when you convert it to NAIRA or to your home country, it's actually a whole lot of money. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your home girl, Ashedemis, and of course, you're watching Jackpot with Ashedemis. So as I do say, this channel is not only about visa processing and whatnot. It's also about some questions you might actually want to sometimes you just sit down that what if it's not nursing, what if I consider another course, and everything. Just frequently ask questions. So guys, today I'm talking about jobs that actually pay more than nursing that you do not know about. But before we talk about all those jobs, how much do nurses earn? How much do you actually think UK nurses earn? Because everybody just think when you just study nursing, when you just enter UK, bang, you start making money, you start buying cars, doing this one. But contrary to this, nurses do not earn much as we think. They do not earn as much as we imagine. Forget internet data. Nurses do not earn as much as we think, but they actually earn more based on experience, based on qualifications, based on but entry-level nurses. Okay, if I actually want to study nursing in the UK, you have two divisions, or you have two parts, or you have to distinguish. I'm just trying to use layman language. Is that you work with the NHS, or you actually work with the private home? I hope you understand what I'm saying. So just like in Nigeria, you have options to work with government hospital or private hospital. So their own government hospital there is NHS, not like hospital, just like a body governing, like the government body shop, but it's for government. Whereas the private home is just like private hospital. In Nigeria, the government actually pays more for nurses, while the private pays less. But abroad, in UK, it's actually contrary. The government, the NHS, actually pays less, whereas the private home actually pays more. Can you imagine? But then people still actually opt for this government NHS. Why? Because when you actually add to your CV, you worked in the NHS and everything. Most times, people that actually work with NHS actually because of the experience, just to boost their CV. That's why people just work with NHS for like a year or two, and after that they go back to private home because NHS do not pay well. How much your NHS pay? So for entry nurse like band 4 or band 5 nurse, like entry nurse like with 2 years experience, NHS pays. Are you ready to review the So according to their there's this grading system in UK. I really cannot remember now, but I'll actually put it when I'm actually editing. They have this grading system where you can check on Google to actually see how much they're pay, but it is actually not hidden, and you can actually check UK occupation list. You actually see it there as well. So NHS nurses for NHS actually paid a minimum of, so they actually pay £25,000, but it's £25,000, 25,000 something, but they just say £25,000. That's without tax deduction, but after tax deduction you get something like £19,000. But when you convert it to naira, £19,000 times pounds is like 500, I pay 560. It's almost like 11 million naira. And you'll be like, oh wow, it's a whole lot of money. I'm going to UK, I'm studying nursing, I'm going to UK. Oh, that good man. Anyways, I'm making a separate video on cost of living in the UK and everything, because these things and more that I actually checked before I actually concluded that abroad is not for people like us, especially people like us that actually have high taste. So that's how much UK NHS actually pay their nurses. So for private home, you can earn as much as £25,000 even after tax deduction. But something about private home is depending on how much you work, depending on how long you work. So they have like a minimum duration. You can work 3 times a week, 4 times a week. So depending on how much more you actually take up job, just like the more you work, the more your money. But for NHS, there's nothing like that somehow. But depending on some departments, depending on some this thing, sometimes they allow overtime, just depending on your location, depending on wherever you are. But for private home, they allow overtime, they allow you to do double shift, triple shift, as long as you can do it. And in case maybe one of your colleagues do not come, you can actually cover up for the person. Of course, they will pay you for it. So on private home, actually pay more than NHS. So now let's talk about things like that. For even that private home, you actually have to work for it. So nothing in the UK is something like, if you no work, you no earn, that kind of thing. And it's not as if like if you no work, you no earn. If you no work hard, you know those type of jobs that if you no work hard. But somebody like me, I actually prefer those work that you just do small work, I start earning. So now let's actually dive right into it. So jobs that actually pay more than nursing that you do not expect or think of is, number one on our list is CEOs, Chief Executive Officer. You know, most times in Nigeria, somebody will just write in their bio, CEO of this, CEO of that. This one, they are not even the owner of the business, so their position is just CEO. They have a minimum salary of 50,000 to 250,000 pounds. Guys, can you imagine? So depending on the company they are working with, depending on the organization, depending on the firm, depending on the location as well, of course they pay more in like London, Bistro, those states. So CEOs, Chief Executive Officers, they actually earn much more than nurses. And trust me, you know what CEOs do now? Sit there in the office. When the senior manager just bring you, just go through it. Okay, fine, all right, nice, okay. Finish. Sometimes they may not even come to work every day safe, and they will collect salary. That's the type of God, Jesus. That's the type of work that I'm talking about. Not like I want to keep myself. I want to do as if somebody want to die. And then you not come and pay me this thing. CEOs actually earn a whole lot of money, and they don't even really work for it, but they actually work for it in the sense that before you actually attain that position of CEO, you would have passed through so many years of experience in the office. You would have passed through so many years of qualifications, and so many, like, they would have groomed you. Like you said, we know that yes, you actually deserve it, but at the long run, it's actually worth it. So CEO, so don't stop misusing that word of CEO. Like, you just have 2K in your account, you're saying CEO, can you consider, can you see you? Go look at your meeting, you keep collecting money. You see. So next are project managers. Oh my days, this ones, they hate money. They're just like subdivision of the CEOs. Project managers, this one, what they do is they manage projects. They help you analyze business. For example, you actually want to build like a 2-bedroom flat, and then you don't even know where to start from. So you can actually go to a project manager and tell them, I want to build a 2-bedroom. I want water heater to be there. I want AC. I want this one. I want that one. How much do you think will be my budget? Or you actually tell the person that, okay, I have £20,000 I want to build a self-con, and this is what I have. Do you actually think it will work for you? So the project manager will actually either help you to like break down your cost or break down possible cost of a self-room contain and give you maybe like a budget to actually work with. Project manager, like they actually help you to manage your project to fit into budget, and after that, if you're actually okay with it and you actually give them the go ahead, they'll actually help you to like to make sure that your project is well executed. They're not the one doing the project though, they're just to make sure that it's well executed. So they'll actually contact engineers, contractors, those engineers, contractors, mechanic is not building house, all those people, like they'll just sit down and have a round table how things is going to work. So his own is just to like invigilate, supervise, whereas you are not there, to just like give you feedback to make sure that everything is fine. That is what project manager do. He says that this, though it requires a lot of mental work, like you have to think, you have to be sure, like just to satisfy your client, and they can earn as much as £45,000 to £80,000 or more. That's just like the age, the range or the base, 45,000 to 80,000, and depending on the location of course, and depending on the contract that is actually involved. Imagine getting a contract for a contract of what's multi-million. Imagine getting a contract of millions of dollars. You know what that means now. You know what that means. Some can actually charge according to percent or anything, but you actually earn more if it's actually your firm, or even if you're actually working for a company, they can actually still pay you based on, aside salary, they can still give you like an extra charge income, like based on maybe like you just did a project, multi-million dollars project, they will still give you like a cut from it from your salary, just like a plus, something like that. Can you see? Just to this thing. And the amount you actually earn actually still depend on your years of experience, your certification, and your location, of course. It can. So this project manager, we can have them inside different subdivisions. We can have IT managers, senior project manager. The next analysts are lawyers. It's in Nigeria that lawyers, they don't pay them well, or you see lawyers as charge and bill. Abroad, they actually earn a whole lot of money. Unlike Nigeria, other countries, that lawyers earn a whole lot of money. We all know what lawyers do. Lawyers, aside, most times people just like lawyers just go to court and just go and prosecute to defend somebody. Aside that, lawyers do a whole lot of. Lawyers can actually give you legal advice. Maybe you actually want to pursue a case, or you actually want to do something, or you're confused, they can actually give legal advice. They can help in signing legal documents. Probably you and a friend actually want to have a business deal between both of you. Of course, you actually have to invite a lawyer to actually draft an agreement with you. You know that in the court of law, any agreement you'll be having with anybody, any signed agreement you'll be having with anybody is invalid without the presence of a lawyer. Which are depending on the country, depending on so many factors, but they always say it's actually invalid without the presence of your lawyer. So anytime you want to draft anything with anybody, you have to call a lawyer. So imagine you calling a lawyer to come and draft something, to draft an agreement between your business partner of you. Will they come for free? Of course, no. You actually had some certain amount of money you got. So that one is just aside their salary. That's just me telling you so many places like lawyers can actually inform. So there is nothing you can do without lawyers. There's basically nothing. Even you collecting an apartment, of course you have a signed agreement with you and your landlord, and if anything goes out, you have to contact the lawyer or another lawyer to actually, you understand. So for lawyers, it could be paralegal, it could be legal advisor, it could be judges. Minimum wage for lawyers can be as high as £23,000. Imagine, even higher than for nurses. So it could be as high as £23,000, and of course depending on the location. So this minimum wage is just for lawyers in the training, like they're just training for their first year. Then depending on actually the law firm you're working with, you know, we have different law firm. We have all this Kugbewe law firm. When we're working with original stagnant view law firm, like view law firm, you can earn as high as £45,000 for first year trainings. Yes, you can actually earn as high as £45,000. And then for your second year training, you can earn above £50,000 and above, depending on your certification, depending on your years of experience, and so many things. And then we actually have some law firms that are actually US based. Like these law firms, they're actually in US, but they actually have their branch in UK. Oh my goodness, those ones, they actually pays the most. They are paid the most of it. So if you're actually a lawyer in Nigeria, you're trying to migrate and everything, before you actually go, make sure to check for law firms in US law firms that are actually in UK. Like, make sure to, like, they pay a whole lot of money. For your first year, you can actually be getting as high as £50,000. £50,000. While for your second year upwards, you can be getting more than 55,000, depending on your years of location and everything. So most of them are actually in London. I think that's why they pay more. But law firms that actually based, they are actually US based, they actually pay a whole lot of money. And judges, they earn over £100,000. Over £100,000. Oh my goodness, they earn a whole lot of money. This one cannot be underestimated. I'm sure we all know these ones. IT, programmers, coding, web development, graphic development. As you can see, like, what is actually advancing into computer age. So anything IT, computer science, computer related, anything, they actually earn a whole lot of money. So for entry level IT, maybe for their first year, they can earn as low as £23,000. Like I said, depending on your location, depending on your certification, depending on your experience, depending on so many factors, but at least minimum £23,000. So under IT, we have so many occupations like network engineers. They can earn as high as £45,000 minimum. Security engineers, maybe like cyber security and all of that, they can earn as high as £38,000. While field engineers can earn like £30,000. So the CIO, like Chief Information Officer, like the CIO, can earn as high as £145,000 to £170,000, and it could be more depending on location. £145,000 and £170K pounds. Can you beat that? Then IT director, of course, maybe like the head of the IT and everything, can actually earn as high as £105,000 to £140,000. So actually, depending on your level, depending on your certification, depending on your years of experience, depending on so many factors, but minimum is still higher than nothing. Next on our list is business analyst. These people actually analyze business. Probably have a business plan and we don't really know how to go about it. You can actually just consult them to actually like help you, like give a little way about your business and everything, like from the name, business analyst. And the funny thing is, they can work anywhere. They can work in a company, they can work in a bank, they can even work with airline, they can just work anywhere. Like, they're just like versatile work. They can work anywhere. So minimum that they can earn is £37,000 to up to £110,000. Imagine. So depending on your location, depending on your years of experience. And under that, we have data analyst, lead analyst, IT analyst, anything analyst. Like, they have so many divisions. So me just saying business analyst is just like a collective name for them. We still have like some that is under their subdivision, but number analyst or not, lowest income is like £37,000. Can you be that? So next on our list is content creators or influencers. Oh my goodness, this is the type of work that may want to just sit down, just for you to talk and start any money. That's almost like the highest paying job right now. Highest paying job. Let an algorithm just favor somebody. Content creator or influencing, or just you sitting down creating content, just talking. So I'm just talking, just watching, and I'm making money. I'm not going out. I'm not. So you can earn as high as editing, content creation, and influencing work. This one at least is as entrepreneurs. So it's almost similar to these entrepreneurs. Like, you can say anything, earn money. But one thing about UK is it's kind of tedious and difficult and capital intensive to actually set up a business in the UK. But if you actually successfully do that, oh my goodness, you're really going to earn a whole lot of money, especially if it's actually a thriving business. And there's actually a new visa now for entrepreneurs or intending entrepreneurs. Like, if they have any business ideas, they can actually like send it to this thing and apply. If then they will actually review the business ideas if they see it's viable, but then you have to have your capital. It's not them that is doing this for you, and they're just giving the visa based on you have business ideas. So I'll be making a video. I'm talking about this separately. So far, that will bring us to the end of today's video. Can you now see? And aside this is not limited to, we have still a whole lot of jobs that actually pay more than nursing. So when people just say nursing pay, you know they pay like that. You know they pay. Now God they bless nursing. Nurses' reward is in heaven, not in this head. Even UK's they underpay nurses. So so far, this will bring us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Make sure to watch my other videos as well. Thanks for watching.